Can I rent it? Okay, so this is a little more complex, and I have 3 parts to this one too. Number one, you don't want to pay more than 80% of ARV all in, meaning purchase price, closing costs, repairs. You want to be no more than 80% in. Okay? And the reason for that is, if you want to refi it, you know, the best way to do a rental house usually is to buy cash, fix it up, refi it based on its appraised value. Because if you put 20% down, then another 20% repairs, you're in too high. All right, so price is not as important because we're looking more at income. But still, you don't want to be more than 80%. The reason for that is Fannie and Freddie will allow you to refi a property immediately, meaning without seasoning for a year, 75% of appraised value, regardless of what you paid for it. So if you can buy it for 60 cents on the dollar, put 20% in repairs, so you're in for 80% total, and you refi for 75%, you only have 5% left in the deal net. And that's good. If you can refi it on a 30-year fixed 4 or 5% or a 7-1 ARM at 3%, and be in for 5% total, that's really good. That's really good. Ideally, it would be 75%, so you're in for nothing, but that's kind of hard to do in today's market. Repairs should be minimal repairs, like 10 grand or less on a small house. Carpet, paint, used appliances, duct tape, lag bolts, liquid nails, and some fake plants. Maybe a new mailbox and not a nice one. Remember, you're not fixing it up to resell it or to get it to appraise at a high number. You're fixing it up just enough to get away with it as a rental. Clean, safe, presentable. But rather than spending money on new appliances and new countertops, paint it, carpet it, make sure it's defunkified for smell, because stink is a problem, especially if they've had cats. Ozonators are very good tools to have. Ozonator will take the oxygen out of the air and kill anything. Mice, rats, dogs, animals in the wall. Like you ever get a dead animal in the wall? The stink of that. Even if you take the dead animal out, it stinks in the house. It stinks. It's funkified. Put an ozonator or 2 in there, close the doors for about 2 days, you won't smell a thing. It sucks everything. It'll suck out bed bugs, lice, rats, mold. It sucks the oxygen out of the air, and they're really powerful. If you put 2 of them in a house that's designed for one, it goes and sucks every smell out of that. Cat urine, anything. Cigarette smoke, anything. So if you're looking at a house, let's say you're looking at a house like that's on the MLS, and everyone's looking at it as a fix and flip, and it needs 35 grand, new cabinets, new kitchen, new roof, new this, new that, new that. The numbers don't work. You're trying to offer 70 cents on the dollar minus repairs. The contractor is keeping his guys busy, just comes in and overbids you by 15 grand. Don't try to compete with that. You'll lose. But you can look at that same house and go, you know what? For 10 grand or less, maybe 8, I can put this thing into rental position and pay more than that guy's paying. And it makes sense. Right? Or wholesale, just like that. Wholesale it as a rental to another landlord. You got to look at it from 2 different perspectives. Can I steal it? No. Can I rent it? Maybe. Because the same house might be in pretty good shape. Now, if it needs a whole new kitchen, it needs new cabinets, it needs new this, you don't want to spend 30, 40, 50 grand to make it a rental. It's not worth it. It's not worth the effort. It's too much risk. Too much money invested. Okay? And the last thing is cash flow. And this is going to require a little math, but it's not hard math. The net income should be at least 1.25 times the principal, interest, taxes, insurance payment, the PITI payment on your mortgage. So let me break that down. Net income, what do I mean by net income? Is that the rent? No. It's the rent minus your property manager, vacancy, a factor of 5 or 8%. Even though vacancy rates are only 2% in the metro area, you got to figure 7% on a single family house if you only have one. The average of 10,000 homes is 2%. What are the odds that your house is going to be continuously rented 98% of the time? Not good. So figure a 5 to 7% vacancy rate, like 2 to 3 times what the city average is. Because the city is taking into account people who have 300-unit apartment buildings. Yeah, 300 units, you'll average 98%, but on one house, you can't average. Because if you have one bad month of vacancy, you're killed for 2 years on that number, okay? So if we take, the rent you're collecting, minus the vacancy factor, minus management, whatever utilities you're paying, or advertising cost you to get in, that's your net income. That number should be 1.25 times your principal, interest, taxes, insurance payment. So for example, let's say you're renting the house for $1,500 a month. Management, vacancy, maintenance, you're down at $1,200. $300 right off the top. That means your PITI can't be more than about $950, which it probably is going to be in that range. Probably going to be less than that, actually. So you can tell houses in the $150,000 to $2,000 range. These formulas are really easy to do. Does that make sense? So that's a rental. Now for a commercial property, it would be the net operating income, as we'll go over later, the net operating income of the building should be 1.25 times your mortgage payment. We'll go over that when we go over commercial, but that's what commercial lenders require, 1.2, 1.25, minimum.